Secret clubs where all your cultural Marxists come true. A young man finds out his long-lost father is an assassin. When his father is murdered, the son is recruited into his father's old organization and trained by a man named Sloan to follow in his dad's footsteps. Wanted, from 2008, is an in-name only adaptation of Mark Millar's graphic novel of the same name. The source material was basically Watchmen, only instead focusing on supervillains. It is a typical overkill from Mark Millar and is probably every bit as terrible as I've been led to believe. I haven't actually read it. Wanted, the movie, instead replaced a fraternity of supervillains with a fraternity of assassins with superpowers. Still, it sounds even more stupid as I say it. This was most likely to capitalize upon the hitman trend that action films inexplicably found themselves in at the time. Square peg, round hole, shit film. Wanted riffs on Fight Club quite a bit, which I appreciated deeply, as the piss-tier incel of a protagonist made the first 15 minutes of this film near unwatchable, and things did not improve much from then. I was very much expecting James McAvoy to be quoting lines from Camp of the Spirits directly to the camera until, thankfully, like a car crash colliding with a train wreck, action scenes with ultra-retarded physics made their way onto the screen. Not even the presence of Angelina Jolie could distract from the fact that I was too old for this shit. As I have never read the graphic novel, I do not know where Mark Millar's childhood stroking begins and the Triforce screenwriting team's exquisite corpse ends. What I can tell you though is that with a combination of inane dialogue, one-dimensional characters and some truly insulting plot twists, Wanted is indeed one of the worst written blockbusters of the 2000s. The best and most iconic element is its direction by a Kazakh-Russian film director whose name I'm not going to even try to pronounce because I already butchered it once already when I covered his 2012 adaptation of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. The visuals of Wanted are inventive, but they are completely wasted upon a terrible script. If I wanted to turn off my brain, I'd shoot myself in the head. If I wanted to waste 2 hours of my life again, I would watch Wanted. If I wanted to give y'all some good advice, I'd recommend staying away from this edgelord blockbuster turd. Professional jeweler John is losing the rush of excitement that once fueled his desire to succeed in his sport of choice. Only one man remains as his next worthy opponent, the legendary Zoringer. So John sets out on a journey for the ultimate contest. Along the way, he meets Colt, a female duelist who is seeking revenge for the death of her brother. Together, the two gunslingers travel from one shootout to another on a dangerous journey of love, violence, and clandestine battles. Blunt Force Trauma is about an underground betting ring where two guys wear bulletproof vests and take turns shooting each other out of a circle. It's unique, it's inherently cinematic, and each duel is a highlight. The story surrounding it, however, predictably though, is very flat and centers around characters with very little dimension to them. The film has plenty of style, and there are some really neat dress styles in this. The characters look way cooler than they talk or act. This is due to the very basic dialogue and performances that are way too toned down to the point of mumblecore, which is cute when I do it, however, but when this film does it, not so much. Things get really boring, really fast. And then someone shoots some holes into a Kevlar vest and I'm happy again. Then I'm bored. Happy. Bored. Blunt Force Trauma. This film does not have a lot of good going for it, apart from its central premise. But man, what a central premise. It is so good, it just about carries a film that is otherwise poorly acted, looks cheap as all hell, and lacks any real engaging characters. Despite all the negatives, I feel this deserves a sequel. And I'd watch it. Nicky Spurgeon is an extremely accomplished con man who takes an amateur con artist, Jess, under his wing. Nicky and Jess become romantically involved, and with Nicky's profession of being a liar and a cheater for a living, he realizes that deception and love are things that don't go together. They split, only to see each other 3 years later, and things get messy. No, not like that, shut up. I never got Will Smith. Then I watched Focus, and now I got him. not in a Kevin Spacey kind of way. I just see him now as the very charismatic leading man everyone else sees him as. Focus is the name, focus is the game, as this film features a sharp script with entertaining characters, and the direction achieves genuine suspense and misdirection. Con men are hard to make sympathetic with the whole identity theft stuff nowadays, so it shows how good Will Smith is, when he wants to be, that he can pull it off. The protagonist comes off as smart, charming, and vulnerable thanks to his skills. Everything you want in an Alfie-type film such as this. Margot Robbie is also good, being convincing in her arc from novice to less than novice. A very natural presence, and her and Smith have great chemistry. Another shout out from an all-round solid cast would be Gerald McRaney, who, though isn't in the film for as long, has an equal amount of charm as the two leads. The cinematography is great, but some shots look flat. I don't know why, just some of them lack depth. Maybe it was the editing. Perhaps I'm too used to montages and the like from these type of films. But really, I'm struggling to find anything bad to say about Focus. Maybe the misdirection goes a little too far and makes the drama a bit floaty, but that's it. I'm done! Overall, Focus is a well-written, shot and acted crime dramedy that is an easy recommend to fans of the genre as well as that Will Smith guy. The Steve McQueen of our dreams.
No, Kevin, what are you doing? No!
Okay, conclusion time. Wanted is terribly written, style over substance. Crap! Blunt Force Trauma is a good gimmick movie dragged down by a weak story. And Focus is a witty and very engaging crime film that I feel has been severely underlooked. Good.